I just collected all of the altars of Lilith in Diablo 4. And I gotta say, it's the worst part of the entire game. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. 28 out of 28 in Fractured Peaks, 33 out of 33 in Dry Steppes, 34 out of 34 in Hazar, 31 out of 31 in Kyrgyzstan, and 34 out of 34 in Skazglin. Okay, this took me... It had to have been 5 hours. I wasn't keeping track of the time it took me to get all these altars of Lilith, but it takes a long time if you just don't collect them throughout the game and just get them all right at the end. Because that's what I did. I beelined the story. I wanted to get to the end game as soon as possible. And then at the end of the game, I have 150, 160 statues to go collect. Like I said, it's the worst part of the game. I didn't want to do it, but essentially you have to, because these statues of Lilith are really valuable. They give you, most of the time, strength, intelligence, willpower, dexterity, 2 apiece. Each time you collect a statue, you get a little bonus for all of your characters that you create in this particular realm, right? Some of them give you obols, max capacity, which is also valuable. You pretty much have to do them. If you're going to make a character, if you're just starting the game, you have to collect these statues of Lilith. It's just a part of the game. It sucks. It's tedious. It's brutal if you just save it all for the end. And that's what I want to talk about today, is how to avoid the brutality of collecting these statues. If I could do it over again, this is the way I would do it, okay? There are 5 different areas. The way I think you should do it is, as you play through the story, as you do side quests, you collect them as you go. The best way to do this is with an interactive map such as this. Get out of my face, ads. An interactive map like this. This is d4planner.io. This is the map I use to search for all of them. Say you're on Act 1. It's like, okay, I only want Fractured Peaks, statues of Lilith. So as you go through the story, you hit different regions. Say you're over here. It's like, oh, there's a statue of Lilith over here, because you have this up and you're referencing it every so often. Just stop by and grab it as you're walking around this area doing your quests. And I think you will have a much better time if you do it this way than saving everything for the end and having to go through all of them. Hopefully you have a second monitor to reference this on. If you don't, you might be all tabbing a lot. Sorry to say. Or pull it up on your phone or freaking iPad or whatever you got, you know? But definitely don't go searching for them on your own. That is just playing through the game, not really thinking about them. I didn't find any. Hardly at all. I found a bunch in Fractured Peaks, but that was the only one I was really searching. I was doing side quests, waiting for friends to catch up in the campaign. This was the only one I actually found a bunch of statues in. And that's why I think it's the best way to do it, because once I got to endgame, I didn't have very many statues to get in Fractured Peaks. Now, another map you could use, this is from d4builds.gg. I just found this today as I was making this video. And this is another great little interactive map. It's got a nice little sidebar here. It's a little bit different, but essentially the same deal. Pretty much your preference, right? Now, say you were like me and you just beeline the story and you have to get all the statues at the end of the game. Like I did. I found this map on Reddit. This is Altars of Lilith. What the hell does that say? Peregrination?
Peregrination.
Peregrination? Get all the altars in a single run. This guy mapped out the perfect route to get everything in one run. So if you really want to do this as fast as possible, I highly suggest you go find this map. I'll put a link in the description below for all of these tools that I used. But this is probably the way I would have done it if I saw this while I was getting the altars of Lilith. But look at this. He made a perfect path. I wish you could map out a path, though, inside the game. That would make this a lot more beneficial. But if you just follow this, this is the most efficient way to go through the world and get all the altars of Lilith. So, there you go. I'll have all the resources linked down below. Go check them out. I think it's the worst part of the game, but hopefully this bit of advice will help you guys in your journey. I honestly don't know from like a developer's point of view how to make this better, because part of me understands the purpose of this. It really makes you explore the world, and it forces you into discovering locations you might never have gone for some sort of side quest, or maybe you don't even do all the side quests and you never explore a certain area. This is a way that the developers thought maybe, okay, let's force them to explore our entire world that we spent a lot of time on. And I feel like that's a common sort of mechanic for open world games such as this. But as a player, the only thing we can do is make it a little bit easier on ourselves. So hopefully this helps you. If you want to check out my initial thoughts of the game, boom, video right here. Anyway, that's it for this one. If you like this, if you found it helpful, go ahead and like it. Maybe subscribe to my channel. I got a lot more Diablo 4 content coming out. And I'll also be streaming. A link to my Twitch down below. And I'll also be streaming right here on YouTube. So you don't even have to go anywhere.